Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Boost Camp 5 is alive. Number 5 is alive. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that from the 80s? Number 5 is alive. The robots were coming, right? That's what we all decided in the 80s. And they were making Hollywood movies about robots with eyelashes. That's what I remember about number 5. But yes, Boost Camp 5 is definitely alive. It went live for download on Tuesday. It is now Thursday, so it's 48 hours live. Very exciting. I just gave you that little video there, a bit of a taste of what you can expect when you join us on Boost Camp 5. Now, of course, in order to get to Boost Camp 5, there are 4 amazing Boost Camps pre-Boost Camp 5. So the way that Boost Camp operates now, for anyone who's not sure, is you join Boost Camp and you go on this beautiful journey of Boost Camps. And the food just keeps on getting better because I keep on getting better. The meal plans keep on getting better. And even in the last Boost Camp, so Boost Camp 4, which we have hundreds and hundreds of people doing now and completing now. We also have people on Boost Camp 3. We also have people on Boost Camp 2 and Boost Camp 1 all at the same time. We are a big, wonderful, warm Boost Camp community. And I've had great feedback from Boost Camp 4 people saying, best meal plan ever. And for me, that was... I felt so good. And the reason why I felt so good was because that was one of the things that I always aim for when I create new recipes, when I create new meal plans. I'm always looking to do, get that little bit of fluff off me. There we go. I'm always looking to do better than the last one. So hearing these types of comments and getting these feedback from the community just means so much. So yes, Boost Camp 5, number 5 is alive and it's ready to go for anyone who needs that boost in their life. And for many of us, we do. So a very good morning to everyone who's joining me live today. I can see Tony. Good morning, Tony. I'm going to throw those comments on our screen here. I can also see the wonderful Sandra. I'm so excited, Sandra, that you were able to snap up those final 2 tickets to Breakfast with Brunch. Can't wait to meet you in real life, IRL, as the cool kids say, tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. I am leaving for Brisbane tomorrow, but on Saturday morning, I get to catch up with Sandra. I think I'm also meeting your husband too, aren't I, Sandra, which is going to be super exciting. Looking forward to meeting all of the BHKers, all of the crew in Brisbane. We are a very excitable lot, I have noticed. Like I've been getting lots of messages from people saying, can't wait to meet you, can't wait to meet the community. And that's what I love about these little informal get-togethers that I've been having around the places that I've been visiting. So for example, we did Auckland about a month ago, I would say, maybe just over a month ago. We did an Auckland coffee morning, which was wonderful, very last minute. I wish I had spent more time organizing it, to be honest with you guys, but it was very last minute. And even though it was literally last minute, we still had some wonderful people joining. Someone drove for 3 hours, took her 3 hours to get there. And she drove. That was the beautiful Christine, who is normally on these lives. I haven't seen Christine for a few days. She must be a busy lady at the moment. So we did Auckland. We did Melbourne matcha morning, which was fabulous. It was just such a cozy little spot that we all met up for matcha. And we're about to do brunch with Bridge, under the bridge. So a beautiful little brunch restaurant that is really in alignment with BHK principles, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. Stay warm if you are joining us, Sandra. Make sure to rug up. Josephine as well is going to be joining us. Rug up, dear ladies, because we do have an alfresco table because they couldn't quite fit the size of our group inside because they're quite a small place, but a very wonderful place in one of the newer hotels down on the wharves there. It's called the Crystal Book Vincent Hotel, and they have this wonderful, beautiful sounding restaurant in the hotel that we're going to be meeting in. So can't wait for that. Going to be super exciting. Also, good morning. I can see Josephine. Good morning. Good morning to Vicky as well. And Claudia's joining us from South Australia, from Adelaide, right, Claudia? Adelaide that I haven't been to for a minute. I haven't been to Adelaide in terms of doing cooking classes or catch-ups with anyone for, I reckon it's got to be 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. So Adelaide, well due for a visit, well due for a brunch. What do you reckon, everyone in Adelaide? To Krista as well, good morning. Good morning to Christine and to Ruth as well. Tony's saying, looking forward to starting it on Monday. That's, of course, Boost Camp 5, which is alive. I'm going to use that from now on. Number 5 is alive. Good morning to Rebecca, who's joining us on YouTube, but also joining us from Brisbane. Good morning. Hope the weather is doing good there. To Sarah, who's joining us as well. And thank you, my love. Every camp just gets better and better. That is the idea, that as the camps are getting better, we are getting better. We're getting better physically, we're getting better mentally, we're getting better at prepping and cooking and shopping, because that's the journey, right? You can't expect to just jump into your first boost camp and go straight to boost camp 5 and be a part of, what with really experienced boost campers if you haven't started at the start. Because it could just be like, what the heck is that ingredient? Whereas, for example, people who are doing boost camp 5, I don't have to explain to you guys what lupin beans are, right? I don't have to explain to you what lupin flour is. I don't have to tell you to go and buy what konjac noodles are or kombu. Like, you guys just know. And so, the process gets easier the more times you do anything, like learning to drive a car, like, learning to walk if you're a baby. Like, you were pretty bad at it when you first started, right? Thankfully, we can't remember falling down all those times, but that's what I love about babies. Fall down, get back up. Fall down, get back up. If only we kept that type of philosophy and desire to keep going like we were as babies, right? We just fall down, get back up. Didn't know how to talk, learned how to talk, didn't mind babbling, making absolute, jibber jabber nonsense, because we were learning. And it's the same when it comes to this life, this lifestyle. You can't expect to be great at the start. No one's great at the start. I was not great at the start, but I've kept at it. We spoke about this earlier in the week. Consistency and going through the boost camp process. Starting at boost camp 1 is there because that's the start. And especially if you're new to this lifestyle, or if you're revisiting it after a hiatus, after some time out, because what I've been able to do with Boost Camp 1 right up to now, Boost Camp 5, so 5 meal plans are just sitting there ready and waiting for you at any time of the day or night, any day of the week or, month of the year. It does not matter. You start whenever you want. And the Boost Camps, and I'm so proud to say that, the way that we deliver Boost Camps now is different from last year. This time last year was completely different. Completely different. Anyone who was doing boost camps with me last year, I know that for many of you, you're still enjoying it, but they're a little bit more complicated. They're a little bit more, they required a bit more prep. So I've learnt to simplify. And making things simple is actually really difficult because there's so many different elements and thoughts that you have to take into consideration. So making something simple is actually really hard, which sounds ridiculous. Even as I'm saying it, it sounds ridiculous, but it's true, because simplicity is actually quite complicated, because you've got to work out what you can leave out, or how you can arrange the information so it comes across as being more accessible rather than just waffling, right? Nothing wrong with a good waffle, though, provided it's gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free. Let's be honest, waffles are great. Waffles are great. Yeah, we have them on Boost Camp. Don't you worry about that. So the Boost Camps have changed dramatically. They have they have improved dramatically. So yeah, we just keep on getting better. And I believe with this Boost Camp 5 again, I just get excited when I put things in front of you guys, and it's my heart in a meal plan. It's my heart in a recipe. It's my experience, my nutrition, my expertise, my knowledge, everything combined in this. My chefiness is all locked into boost camps, all the boost camps that I do. So excited. It is out there. Just seeing this from Wendy. How good is this? 5 years BHK. You know what we need? We need Wendy, and I'm doing this for everyone, is I've been dragging my feet about getting merchandise, like getting BHK stuff for us. I've been dragging my feet. I don't know why. I think it's just I haven't had time because I've been creating recipes and meal plans and retreats and competitions and all that. So it's kind of like, it's always this work in progress. And we are a small team. We're a team of 1, 2, how many in the warehouse right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the warehouse right now. And every single one of us is like head down doing something really, really important so we can do the next really important thing. Not that merchandise, and I'm talking about caps and T-shirts and all that sort of stuff. Not that stuff is not important. It's just giving the space to do it. So it is on my list. Got my list right here. Got my trusty clipboard right next to me, and it is on the list. I'm chatting with companies now about creating some merchandise for us. So we can, if you're a BHK for 5 years, you want to shout that from the rooftops, and sometimes we just want to wear that. I know I do. I've got Bridget's Healthy Kitchen T-shirts, but they're kind of like crew shirts, not the same thing. I want a really cool BHK cap, like a really cool one, especially because I've started playing, oh my gosh, we went to the pickleball court yesterday, me and my Hayes, we started playing pickleball, and my big hair needs to be put under a cap, otherwise it's just going everywhere. So I need a BHK cap. We also need a pickleball team, a BHK pickleball team, because it's a cool game. Trust me on that, it's fun. So our main topic today, and to everyone else who's joining us live, our main topic today is about something that I saw. I got tagged in last night. Someone shared I think it was like a current affair, whatever that show was that's on after the news at 7 o'clock. Is it a current affair? Yeah, current affair. It was on a current affair. I don't know if it was last night or a couple of weeks ago, but it's quite a recent article. And they shared with me a link about a nutritionist, and I put that in very loose terms. Like loose terms, a nutritionist who's written a book, and then she got exposed for her dodgy stuff that she was selling, basically. So she wasn't, from her book, from what I could see, wasn't a book of recipes and stuff like that. It was a book of motivational stuff and inspirational stuff, and on top of her book, which was called, I can't remember the name of it. It was Biohackme. Actually, she calls herself a nutritional biohacker. Australian lady, English lady who lives in Australia, so Australian citizen. And this Biohackme, I'm not sure if anyone saw it. Did anyone see that? Biohackme. Here we go. Here's the question: does anyone play pickleball? Seriously, I want a pickleball team. It's the greatest. It's like if you're wondering about pickleball, it's like a cross between badminton and tennis on a smaller court, right? So it's any age can play pickleball because it's on a smaller court. For me, I grew up playing paddle tennis at school as a kid. So you had paddles and you hit the tennis ball over the net. It's like that, except it's a plastic ball that doesn't bounce as much. Yeah, it's fun. I got really sore butt cheeks today, but it's fun. So there's this nutritionist, this biohacker nutritionist, Aussie based lady who was selling people some pretty outrageous stuff for your health. And it got me thinking about the supplement industry and how we have to be so careful with what we see, especially online. And look, to be honest, this news item that I saw, Linda's saying, yes, saw it, bad news, yeah. This news item that I saw was shocking in the fact that if it wasn't for, I'm going to say, the rise of reels and TikTok videos and those sort of like those 30-second grab your attention style of advertising that is so prevalent now on the internet. They say that, you've got to grab them in the first 3 seconds. So it's usually shock factor things that get people's attention. And it's these shock factor ads or entertainment videos, but they're actually were their ads disguised as entertainment videos that are selling some pretty outrageous stuff to people in the name of health and weight loss. And so you get this really unregulated industry of basically snake oil salespeople, right? Like the old, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with the old rag and bone man, which used to be, would literally be selling, well, rags and bones for a start, but selling things off the back of their cart. I've got my grandfather and grandmother used to have pretty awesome stories about the rag and bone man that used to come around, where they lived, literally with a cart and a horse and pulling stuff and selling everything off it. And this is kind of what, like, today's modern style of selling is kind of reminiscent of that style of selling, right? We used to come along and ring a bell and get people's attention, and people come out of their homes and buy something off the back of your truck or the back of your cart. And now we do that, via social media, via platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and of course Facebook as well. There's that quick sell, that something that entertains you, makes you smile, makes you laugh, gets your attention, but actually they're selling a product. And are those products actually good for you? So this lady, two of the things that she was called up on, well, number one, she had a bit of a dodgy nutritionist degree. It was to be confirmed whether it was actually she really was qualified to dispense information and care to people. But the other thing was what she was selling. So she was selling or promoting the ingestion of volcanic rock. Don't know what to say about that. Not based in any science, of course, but she was selling volcanic rock that you ate, that you consumed. I'm assuming as a pill. I don't think she was selling. I don't think a rock turned up to your house which you kind of had to gnaw on. I think it was a volcanic rock that had been obviously processed to be. I'm assuming pill form. No science looked at it. Just it's laughable. It's so laughable. There's no science based in it. Like, if you want to use volcanic rock in your home, you can. It's really, really good for getting the dry, flaky skin off your feet. I'm talking about pumice, right? Pumice is great. Pumice is fantastic. My dentist uses pumice on my teeth to get off the stains. So there is definitely, and volcanic soil, as we know, is fantastic for growing things. But she was selling volcanic rock, and the one that really got people was she was selling or advocating for the consumption of a dye. It's a commercially processed chemical dye. And this dye that she was selling people, I don't even know what it was. I didn't even bother to check, because it was just people were just people were showing up at A&E, at the emergency department, because it was so dangerous, and people were having blue mouths, like it was staining their mouths and their poos and everything blue for days, weeks, and it was obviously quite concerning, and again based in no science. She was peddling some crap. So someone on YouTube's asking me, there it is, sorry, Ron. Do you practice what you preach? Are you ripped? I don't know, are you? Audience, do I practice what I preach? Do I live this lifestyle? Yeah, no, I do. I do live this lifestyle. Not sure what country you're in, but this lifestyle has seen me for the last nearly decade maintain a 35 kilo, which is basically an 80-pound weight loss. I'm a nutritionist, a qualified nutritionist, practicing nutritionist. I've been a chef for far too many years to recommend. Oh gosh, yeah, 36 years I've been a chef, professional chef. So I know how to cook. I know how to create stuff, guys? Yeah, everyone's like, absolutely. I do practice what I preach. That's the only reason why I preach it, because I am the living, breathing example of a lifestyle that is that works, a lifestyle that sees us gaining more life in our years. It's not just about weight loss, is it? It's about being healthy, having energy, sleeping well, no longer being depressed, no longer being moody, no longer being, well, I'm still a bit moody. Like okay, that's a little bit of an overreach. I still have my moments. We all do. Let's be honest. I'm not 100% like cool all the time. Sometimes I'm like, you know, but it's so much better. So, yeah, this lady was peddling just the biggest load of garbage, and it was really sad, to be honest. It was really sad, but it got me thinking about the supplement industry and why your supplements may not be working. Because let's be honest, the supplement industry is fairly unregulated. So you can make a claim on a product and you don't have to back it up with science. You don't. You could just put it in a jar and sell it. It's one of the reasons why, as you guys know, when it comes to the only supplement that I have ever come across that I've wanted to put in front of you in the last decade that I've gone, you know what, we need this, which of course is our Boost Protocol. Because Boost Protocol, as far as I'm concerned, is not a supplement, even though it's considered a supplement, because it's an ingredient. We eat it, it's food, right? But it also has the most incredible health benefits. So for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. But the supplement industry, and the other thing about Boost Protocol is it's backed up with so much science. That's the reason why I feel confident every single day I sit in front of you guys and I recommend it as a product. Because there's a lot of supplements out there that they don't have to back it up with any type of scientific studies or research to show that this is what this product can do. Hence why you have Volcanic Rock being sold and blue dyes that literally stain your mouth blue. And there's thousands of them out there. I mean, the supplement industry in Australia alone is worth, nearly $3 billion a year. It's huge. Throughout the world, we're talking trillions of dollars a year of supplements. And let's be honest when it comes to supplementation, is that often supplements are taken without any knowledge of how they're created, without any science to back up the claims or what you're taking. And that it's that dysregulated market that is the supplement industry, which has actually become quite dangerous. And I'm talking about danger in terms of people's health. And then there's the other side of it that we're going to talk about today, which is the supplement industry that completely ignores how your supplements get absorbed in your body. There's that too, by the way. So we're going to talk about that. In other words, are you spending lots of money on supplements, pills and tonics and vitamins and mineral? Are you spending lots of money every month on supplements, taking them without any prior knowledge, or taking them without any prep work done first? And it's that prep work that is the missing element when it comes to the supplement industry. And it's why you could just have a whole lot of expensive pee. Even if you're using really expensive supplements that are good quality supplements, but if you haven't done the prep first, you could just be having really super expensive pee. Like, seriously. So we're going to be talking about that, because that news article I saw, I was just like, oh my God, like, what the heck is the point here? Right? What the heck is the point? So here's the point that I want to make today with you guys, is that it's really important to consider where those supplements go when you take them. So most supplements are taken orally. Some are taken intravenously, as we know. So we're talking about injections, of course. Most supplements, some are taken suppository. Yeah, there are a few ways that we can get some are taken topically, so rubbed into the skin. But majority of supplements, they're going to have to go through your gut, because that's how they're delivered, right? They're going to have to go through your gut. Now, it's again, really important to remember that your gut lining, it's like a sieve, right? It's like a sieve. So it catches some things and it lets some things through. Majority of, and I'm going to go start with the cheap supplements, the majority of cheap supplements. So I hate to say it, this is the stuff you're going to find at the Chemist Warehouse, Australia and New Zealand, and whoever else has cheap bulk chemist-like pharmaceutical, warehouses that sell all those big, friggin', massive big jars of supplements really cheap. So those cheap supplements, a lot of them have synthetic vitamins. So their ingredients, like if we were to look at a multivitamin, right, which you're like, hey, one thing does all this stuff, super cheap, buy a big thing, take my multivitamin, happy days. I am making sure nothing is missed in my diet because I've got this multivitamin. But often those cheap vitamins, they have cheap multis, they have synthetic vitamins in them. And it's these synthetic vitamins, these cheap quality vitamins. I see it all the time with people who take a magnesium supplementation. We make our electrolyte water and they're adding magnesium to the water and it's making them run off and, they have, almost like explosive diarrhea not long after that. See it all the time because unfortunately, when we look deeper into it, we see that their magnesium powder is a cheap synthetic magnesium causing the gut lining to be irritated. And when the gut lining is irritated, not only will this cause inflammatory buildup, right, that irritation on the gut lining, but it will also, and here's the important part, it will block nutrient absorption. Because remember this is the really important part. All of those nutrients from the supplements that you're taking, from the food that you're eating, all of those nutrients get absorbed through the gut lining. And then it goes into your bloodstream, and then your bloodstream moves it around to all the parts of your body where those vitamins and those minerals and those nutrients need to go, right? First stop is the liver, then the liver does that. But in order for those nutrients from your supplements to get to the liver, and then the liver distributes them all around the body, in order for them to get there, they need to go through the lining of your gut. Now, if the lining of your gut is inflamed because you're using cheap synthetic versions of supplements, if your gut lining is inflamed because your diet's crap and, you're eating, potato chips, in 1 minute and then you're popping a multivitamin in the next minute, or you're eating drive-through McDonald's and then you're having a multivitamin, or you're having a protein shake and then you're having a multivitamin. I mean, yeah, we're talking major inflammation in that gut. And how can you possibly expect those nutrients in that multivitamin or the nutrients in that food to be able to be absorbed when your gut lining is covered in gunk? It's inflamed. It doesn't feel good. It's like, here we go. All right, we've just had McDonald's for lunch. Now we're going to have our multivitamin, and your gut's like, what do you expect me to do with that? I'm too busy trying to get rid of the inflammation from all that crap in that McDonald's drive-through that you've just eaten, right? I'm trying to get rid of all the inflammation from the synthetic, poor quality supplement that you've just taken that's really irritated me. And all I want to do is go to the toilet. I always think of that explosive diarrhea, like when you're like, oh my God, now I've got to go, right? Because you've eaten something, you've had something. That explosive moment that you're feeling, it's like your gut sneezing, because it's irritated. It's like a sneeze in your gut and it propels things out the wrong way, right? Well, it's got to get out anyway, but it propels it out a lot faster than it should. So remember that your gut lining is like a sieve. And if your gut lining is at all compromised, and the majority of us, if you can identify with that lifestyle, even slightly, well, not more than slightly. If you identify with it slightly, like, yeah, every now and then I might have a packet of chips, I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, every now and then I might have a pub meal. Who cares, right? That's awesome. Do it, enjoy it, right? But if you're like every day, I stop at the bakery on my way to work, and then I'm at Starbucks, and then I'm at, I don't know, Subway for lunch, and then I'll cook my own dinner, so I have a really good dinner. Well, if you can identify with any part of that, I'm telling you now, your gut is compromised. Your gut is compromised because you can't expect to put the majority of food that you're putting into your body is inflammatory foods. You can't expect to not have inflammation building up. You can't. It's an impossible equation that you're trying to piece together. To go, but I have one good meal a day, but one good meal a day and two bad meals a day, or two average or two inflammatory meals a day. What that looks like is that if you break it down to percentages, 66% of the time you're eating foods that cause inflammation compared with 33% of the time or thereabouts, right? So that's 66, a bigger number. It means you are going to have inflammation in your gut. You are going to have a compromised gut lining. So that supplement that you take, and if that supplement's cheap, that supplement is, full of synthetic vitamins like folic acid, that's one of the ones you've got to be really careful of. Those synthetic vitamins, those synthetic nutrients, because that's what a vitamin is. A vitamin is a nutrient. A mineral is a nutrient. Food is nutrients too, by the way. Just saying. Or it's not. It's that 66% of bad stuff. But it will irritate the gut lining, and your ability to absorb nutrients, good stuff, absorb them through that gut lining doesn't work, right? Does not happen. And unfortunately, like I said, it's a very unregulated supplement industry we have, with these bargain supplements. And a lot of these supplements as well, and this is why, one of the best things you can do is flip and read the label. Remember, flip and read the label, right? Flip it over, read the label. Is a lot of these unregulated bargain supplements, and also I'm talking not just supplements, but even if you're supplementing food, like you're doing meal replacements, protein shakes, for all our gym goers who are just living on protein shakes. A lot of these bargain supplements, protein shakes, meal replacements, they contain heavy metals, lead, arsenic. I mean, you're eating potentially lead and arsenic in synthetic versions of nutrients, and these things will destroy your good gut bacteria. So remember that your gut acts like a sieve. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about, really important, and it's often, we're after the convenience. We all are. We want something convenient. We don't have the time. It says that we don't have the energy. We don't have the, we just want to go the entire day, and food is either convenient or not. So we supplement in order to respond to that convenient lifestyle that we want, which is, again, is a really, really common thing. Oh, this is from Tony. This is real life feedback for us, community. I've seen liver damage in the hospital from supplements containing too much green tea. It was one of the ones, Fat Blast, right? The Fat Blaster. Absolutely. There's also the dangers of over supplementing, which we will talk about. We have to talk about that. Exactly what Tony said. There is because the industry is so unregulated, and it's over the counter. It's not prescription medication. It's over the counter. That people in Tony's field, working in hospitals, they see in real time, in real life, the danger, the damage, and the thing about the dangers of over supplementing is that it's not a rare thing that people are presenting to hospitals with liver damage because they took too much green tea extract in their Fat Blaster. It's not a rare thing. It is becoming so much more common because we are relying more and more on supplements because we're not doing what our grandparents did, which was they ate food. I mean, I never saw my grandmother supplement. I didn't see her take if she had a cold, it was a lemon drink, right? It was a lemon drink. If she had a cold, it's a lemon drink. My grandmother lived into her 80s, by the way. She lived into her 80s. But it was a lemon drink. She used to put whiskey in that lemon drink, but we won't talk about that. But you know what I mean? It was it was food. It was food as nutrition, food as medicine. And and that's just how life was. But again, completely different state of affairs that we have now compared with when my grandmother was my age, compared with me now, and how we've built this modern lifestyle around us. And so we're like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to balance my nutrients. So I'm just going to take a supplement without realizing that there are risks involved. There are risks involved. And if you're taking unregulated supplements with some wacky wacky health benefit that has no grounding in studies, science, or research, you run pretty big risks of having a blue mouth and blue poo and literally poisoning yourself with some blue chemical, and so many more, right? Liver damage from green tea extract. Green tea is very good for you. But like anything in life, you can overdo it. And unfortunately, those fat blasters, you've seen it on every supermarket, totally unregulated in terms of people can just have a meal replacement every single meal. I'm losing weight. I hope I lose weight. Oh my God, I hope it's working. Unknown to them, completely overloading and damaging their liver so much so they need hospitalization. So the other most overlooked thing when it comes to, the supplement industry and people willy-nilly taking supplements without even understanding the long-term effect, the claims being real or not real, just kind of getting in there and doing it, is the fiber factor that we have to talk about. So we know that the majority of people, something I've talked about often, majority of people don't consume enough fiber. In Australia, the numbers, in New Zealand is pretty much the same. It's about 80% of adults have a fiber deficient approach to their food intake every day. So 80% of Aussies and Kiwis just not getting enough fiber. How much is fiber do you need? You need between 25 to 35 grams of fiber. I mean, it's not like if you have more than 35, it's going to be bad for you. Fiber's good. We know that. Why is fiber good? Fiber is the food for your gut bacteria. So when you're not getting enough fiber, and 80% of Aussies and Kiwi adults do not, it's 95% of Americans, by the way. So we're doing a little bit better than the US, but 80% is still massive. That's huge. That's 8 out of 10 people are not getting enough fiber. That means only 20%, or 2 out of 10 people are getting enough fiber every day. And this is where it becomes very concerning. You know that fiber is there to feed your healthy gut bacteria. And when you're not getting enough fiber, what happens is your gut bacteria will begin to eat the lining of your gut because they're starving. So they will actually begin to consume the lining of your gut. You need that mucus, you need that lining because that is your protective layer. Because remember, the only thing that separates everything that you eat and drink and all your medications that you may be taking and all your supplements that you may be popping, anything that goes into your body, alcohol, whatever, soft drinks, everything that goes through your body. There's only one thing that is in between the things that you put into your mouth going straight into your bloodstream, and that is your gut lining. That skin, that one layer of human skin that separates everything that you consume that goes into your mouth, everything from going into your bloodstream. So we know that, for example, let's use the most obvious one. Alcohol's a toxin, and the only thing stopping the real toxins from going in is that gut lining, and it doesn't do a great job, does it? Because it's one of the reasons why people get drunk, because basically alcohol is a neurotoxin. It's toxic to the brain. That's why you feel drunk. If you haven't been drunk before, congratulations. You're not missing out on much. You aren't. But, you think about everything you put into your body is either going to, go out the other end and you absorb the good stuff from it, if it is good stuff in there, or if there's damage to that gut lining because you haven't been eating enough fiber, which means that your gut bugs are not being fed, which means that they still need to eat. So they begin to eat the lining of your gut. This is how you get those holes. This is how you get leaky gut syndrome. So what we have here when we're talking about the supplement industry is we have a real focus on the vitamins and the minerals and not enough focus on that preparation stage, which is making sure that your gut lining is adequately set up so that you're not doing even more damage to your body by those vitamins and minerals just going straight through into your bloodstream without being absorbed properly, right? The toxins going in there. So we've got to be so incredibly, familiar with our gut health, because if you don't have a healthy gut and your gut's inflamed and you're even the most basic of things, you're not getting enough fiber in your day, when it comes to supplementation, yes, you're getting expensive pee because you're not absorbing it. You're not absorbing because you don't have enough fiber. Your gut's unhealthy. Your gut's unclean. It's inflamed. And so those hungry gut bacteria, they're just going to eat your intestinal lining. I know it sounds really gross, but it's true. Remember, your gut bacteria, they're not human cells, they're microbes, right? And they're going to survive however they can survive. And for many of them, it's just like, we're just going to munch on that intestinal lining of that gut. We're just going to munch on that, right? So we have to remember the role that fiber plays in this, and how the supplement industry completely, doesn't even care about that. It's almost like that ambulance at the bottom of the hill, rather than making sure that there's an ambulance at the top of the hill, before someone falls off. Is that like, in order for things to work, there is a bit of preparation involved. And there is not just preparation involved, it's the sustainable approach, the consistent approach, which means that we are looking after that area long term. Because as we've discussed many, many times, and you guys know this, like fiber, not having enough fiber will lead to a whole host of issues. Yes, you're not going to be able to absorb the nutrients from the food that you're eating if you're not getting enough fiber, because your gut bugs are still starving. Remember, they eat fiber. But it's that imbalance that causes so many long-term problems, right down to how you sleep, right down to your hunger signaling, whether you're being constantly hungry, whether whether that in itself isn't working properly. For some people, it can be that they're just not hungry at all. They actually have to force themselves to eat. That is another sign of gut dysregulation, of your gut bugs not being balanced. And we're talking about poor skin, obviously, because your inside skin affects your outside skin. If it's inflamed inside, it's going to show up on the outside. We're talking about brittle bones. We're talking about being more insulin resistant. So it will affect the way that hormone works. And, insulin resistance is type 2 diabetes, long-term type 2 diabetes. That's what insulin resistance is. So you've got all these conditions happening in your gut. And we often will try the easy way out, the convenient way out. I'll just have the supplement. Look at me. I'm such a good girl. I'm such a good boy. I'm doing so great. And we do. We honestly believe it because we believe everything we read on the packet. Or we're too busy to care, or too busy to think that food is actually where we get our medicine from. Food is the balance that our body is craving. So you can't, as we know, out-supplement a poor diet. And these are the reasons why. Supplements only work if you've done the preparation, if that gut is ready to accept those supplements. Otherwise, you're just peeing them out. Supplements need to be, if the industry's not regulating it, you need to regulate it. Just like Tony said, she's having people come into the hospital with liver damage from supplementation. You know, you've got people who are presenting with lifelong damaging conditions because they've gone crazy with protein powders. You've got the rise of certain diseases and illnesses and even cancers directly linked to the overconsumption of convenient supplementation, meal replacements, fat blasters, man shake, woman shake, blah, 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 whatever you want to, Opti, Slim, Fast, right? All the stuff. You know, honestly, I would never buy anything, a vitamin or a mineral from a supermarket. No way. It's just no way. Absolutely zero chance. I don't even, the health food aisle in the supermarket. Really? Is it that healthy? And if it's healthy, if that's the health food aisle, all the other aisles should be labeled unhealthy food aisle? Always ask that question as well. Kind of if there's a yin, there's a yang, right? It's got to be two sides to the coin here. If this is the healthy aisle, that must be the unhealthy aisle. I'll just go in there. I might be better off. Unhealthy aisle, don't get sucked in. I would never, ever, ever, ever buy a supplement from a supermarket because they are often, because supermarkets, they want to keep the prices down so they can make more profits. So supermarkets tend to be the cheaper quality synthetic vitamins for a start, which we know are gut irritating, which we know will inflame the gut. And they also tend to be all the Opti shakes, fasts, blah, 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 right? Meal replacements. And we wonder why this is just not working. All you've got to do is look out your window, go for a walk, go into this market, go shopping, drive in your car, hop on a bus, just to see. You can physically see the amount of inflammation that people are carrying. You can physically see it. And it's funny, when I see people that are carrying excessive weight, I don't see their weight. I don't see that. I see inflammation. And I see it here in their faces. I see it in their necks. I see it in their arms. I see it in their fingers. I see inflammation. Because this is the lifestyle that we've set up for ourselves. We've set up a pro, which means more, doing it, inflammation approach to food. We've set up I'm not really sure what those supplements are for, but I'll take it anyway because my neighbor takes it, without realizing that there is potential danger in those supplements. Not simply the fact that they just may not be working and it's just wasting your money. Like, that's one thing. But then there's the other side, which is like they could actually be doing you harm because it's unregulated and you're not regulating it, potentially. Not saying everyone, but there's still that possibility that you're part of that. I saw it on Facebook. You're part of that. Oh, my neighbor takes it. Oh, I heard 20 years ago that you need to take this, right? I mean, these are the things that we commonly see without actually understanding the background to that product. Not saying all supplements are bad. Please don't think that. If you are getting your supplementation from a reputable source. So in other words, if you're seeing someone who is trained in the dispensing of supplementation and they are giving you a plan, not just a walking into the supermarket and buying it because it's on special, or walking into Chemist Warehouse and getting the biggest, cheapest one you can find because it's biggest and the cheapest one you can find, and someone told you that it might work, right? You heard down the pub that it was a good thing, and you're like, oh, I could do that. Or so-and-so was taking it, so I'm going to take it, without even knowing that there is potential damage to your organs. There is potential damage to your gut lining. And when your gut is unhealthy, you are unhealthy. So there is all of that as well that's tied into it. There's all of that we need to be so considerate of, and not following blindly the advice of someone who is not qualified to give you advice. If your neighbor says you should be taking magnesium citrate because I am, that is not qualified advice. If your, work colleague suggests that you should be taking this meal replacement because they are, that is not qualified advice. If you see someone telling you to drink blue dye, that's not qualified advice, right? There is a lot of unqualified voices, dangerously stating things that are just not backed in any science, not backed in any research, not backed in any studies, not backed in any truth, because the rag and bone man is back. But now he lives, and she lives on TikTok, on Instagram, on Reels, on an unregulated social media platform. But in saying that, Australian TGA, so it's a Therapeutic Goods Association, so the TGA, which regulates this type of stuff, they are definitely fighting back against the social media element. So, we have to be always aware of the information that we share. And we are, because we are responsible. And I'm very proud of how responsible me and the team are. We meet about this every single week. We discuss this in our meetings. And I don't like meetings. I suggested we had plank meetings because then we'll just talk really fast because we're all holding a plank. Like, I don't like meetings. I'm like, we just get to work, but I've got to sit in meetings. It's part of what I do. But it's important stuff because we discuss things that we're talking about right now. The responsible approach to anything that we promote, any recipe, any food, any ingredient, it all has to fall under that responsible, service to you guys. It's the same when it comes to, I often get people, because I'm obviously on Facebook, and I get people, and on Instagram as well, I get people sending me private messages asking for nutritional advice. I'm like, I can't give you advice on Facebook Messenger. That's just so irresponsible. Before I can give you individualized advice, I need to know your health history. I need to know your background. I need to do some research. I need to do some work. I can't just, as much as I'm sure you would love me to just give you some free advice through Facebook Messenger, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it because it's not responsible. It's not ethical, by the way. So I very politely decline and let people know why. It's because, there is a responsibility that I have for people's well-being. And I take that very, very seriously. So when it comes to your supplements, know what you're taking. Flip and read the label, right? Make sure there's nothing synthetic in there. Make sure that you're getting the highest quality that you can. And ideally, you're getting advised to supplement from someone who's qualified to give you that advice, right? You can't also just believe everything you see online. You can't. And I know I'm online, but I hope by now I've qualified myself with you guys. We are years into this. Even if you're new to Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, if you're new to me, I want you to stay around so that I can continue to qualify my advice, my information based on the science, based on the research, and also based on the fact that I'm not here to rip people off. I'm not the rag and bone lady turning up outside your house with a cart. I have a vested interest in every single person that comes to our community wanting to create something better for their life. I have that vested interest. It worked for me, and I just want it to work for as many people as possible because it feels so good to be healthy. It feels so good to have energy, so much so that now I'm a pickleball player. So much fun. Very competitive. Yes, it's very competitive, which I quite like. but very doable, even in my not very fit stage, right? I'm healthy and fit, but not like run around like a professional sports person fit, not that fit, getting there. But one thing that I absolutely love about this lifestyle is the ability to be able to connect with you guys through this community that we've created, through this incredible community that we've created. Just saying hello, look at that. Hello from Montreal. Beautiful. Oh, we were in Montreal 6 months ago. It was cold and glorious. Hello to you from Montreal. Good to have you joining us. So, to every single one of us who's considering supplementation, follow those basic rules, right? Make sure that you're getting supplement advice from a qualified voice, a healthcare professional, right? Not your neighbor, even though you may have gotten good advice from your neighbor on how to, plant that tree and keep your lawn tidy and what day the rubbish bin goes out. Your neighbor's great. But if your neighbor's not a healthcare professional and they're telling you that you should be taking vitamin A supplements with green tea extract, please get some advice that is qualified. Make sure that the product that you are supplementing with, firstly, is required for you or is part of an approach that is way more than just supplements, right? Supplements alone will not make you healthy. It's like trying to go to the gym and expecting that I go to the gym every day, I'm really healthy, but are you really, right? Or that diet alone, nutrition alone is not going to be the one thing that you can do. That's a holistic approach to everything that we do. Nutrition has to be there. You've got to eat whole foods that you have prepared or someone you trust has prepared, right? That qualified person in the house that you're going, yep, my wife knows what I need. My husband knows what I need. My kids, whoever your cook is, right? So you've got to consume whole foods, right? Ideally, those whole foods are created in your kitchen, in your space, because then you know exactly what's going into it. You've got to drink all your delicious filtered water, ideally filtered, because there's a lot of crap in the water these days, right? Coming out of the taps. You got to drink real water. We've got to be mindful of getting sleep, right? Holistic approach. Sleep, rest, stress management. I'm talking about the 5 pillars, the 5 towers of health here, right? Nutrition, water, sleep / rest, stress management, and movement. Those are the 5 pillars of health. We now have a 6th one, don't we? Community. Being a part of something. Being a part of something that means something to you so we have purpose. One of the biggest and saddest killers is loneliness, right? Being part of something bigger than you. Having a purpose, sharing your knowledge, giving back, not always taking, not being selfish, but actually being community-centered, community-minded. We live in one big village. We do. And I'm talking about that metaphorically. We live in a big village. So yes, your neighbor's great. Not saying don't trust everything your neighbor says, but maybe not maybe not the health stuff, right? Listen, be a part of that conversation, but always make sure that your health advice is qualified to give you that advice. And the third thing when it comes to supplementation, right? The third thing, or the second, I can't remember what number I'm up to. We'll go with 3. 3 is the magic number. The third thing is to make sure that you are prepped. You've done your preparation. And your preparation is what you do every day, which is to make sure that you're looking after your gut health, that you're supporting the gut bacteria, your microbes that live inside of you. Remember, they're not human cells, and there's about 40 trillion of them that just live in your gut alone. 40 trillion. Remember, if we took your gut bugs out of your body, they would weigh anything from 1.5 to 2.5 kilos worth of microscopic bacteria. I can't even fathom that. Like, what weighs 2.5 kilos around me? Well, I mean, that's only probably at the moment, it's only probably about, 700 grams. Like, that's a lot of bugs that live in you. at any time. And they're always hungry. They always want to eat. And if you don't give them what they need, they will turn against you. They will. And they will either be bad actors, bad bacteria, which create havoc and chaos in your body and your gut, and your risk of disease and illness goes up if you've got bad bacteria in you taken over. Or they're going to be so starving they begin to eat the lining of your gut, which means you've got gut dysfunction, gut dysregulation. And when your gut is unhealthy and unwell, so are you. It's a really, really simple 1 + 1 = 2. If your gut is unhealthy, so are you. And what does unhealthy look like? Well, it looks like so many things in this day and age, doesn't it? It means weight gain, weight loss, like severe weight loss, severe weight gain, inability to lose weight. It means not able to sleep, not able to function. It means low energy, no energy, chronic fatigue. It means conditions like thyroid conditions where your thyroid doesn't work properly. It means your metabolism isn't working properly. It means high blood pressure. It means heart disease. It means dementia, Alzheimer's. It means asthma. It means eczema. It means stroke. It means so many things. Unhealthy means so many things. It means poor joint health. It means being immobile. It means so many things. And so we've got to look after our gut. It all starts there. It is the foundation. Set that foundation up, and all those wonderful supplements you're taking, especially the high quality ones that someone qualified has instructed you or advised you to take, right? Remember that's an important key. All those wonderful supplements that you are taking can actually do their job. And if you are currently taking supplements just because, stop and think, are they working? Or is it expensive pee? I had that conversation with someone recently. She went through a whole list of all the supplements she was taking. And she had been advised from a naturopath to take all these because she had a few different conditions that she was working through. Long-term conditions, long-term health conditions, and some new ones. So there was a lot of things that she was working through. And she was taking a absolute cocktail. She must have jingled when she walked. There was so many pills that she was taking, so many sprays under the tongue, and she had a very strict time frame of when she was to take them. And I looked at everything, and I really was quite freaked out at how much she was paying for this. It was something like $600 a month she was paying for all these supplementation, all the stuff she was taking. And so I just asked her, is it working? And she sat back and she's like, no. I'm like, okay, let's make them work. Because that's a lot of money. And that's a lot of, that sounds annoying. I don't want to be, how many pills are you taking? Like, literally, I'm like, how many pills are you taking a day? And you've got a diary on when you're supposed to take them? Like, are they surely you've seen the results by now. She'd been on them for quite a few months. Surely you've seen the results. And she was like, nah, I'm actually worse than when I first started them. My conditions have gotten worse. I've got new conditions now that I didn't have before I started them. Not saying the supplements cause the conditions, not saying that, but she was actually presenting with more conditions than what she had had 6 months ago. So her health was getting worse. So ask yourself the question, if you are sucking down pills and drinks and potions and lotions during the day, ask yourself the question, is it working? Because if it's working, you can potentially not need them anymore, right? Unless, of course, they're maintenance doses, which some people do. But if you're having them to particularly fix a problem in your body, and you've been taking them for so long and your body's still not fixed with that problem, then there's something else underlying that needs to be looked at. So go back to your healthcare professional and go, hey, it's not working. We need to have another plan of attack. And quite frankly, look at your gut health. Look at your fiber intake. Are you eating the right foods? Do you have nutrient balance through the foods that you're eating? Start there. Honest to goodness, start in your gut, please. Hope you've enjoyed today's little chat. It has been a pleasure spending time with you. Wonderful to see so many YouTube people coming across as well. We are going live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. How exciting is that? So you can watch this on YouTube. I do go live. I do have a YouTube channel, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. Please like and subscribe. Tick the bell notification so that you get notified when I do go live. It's one way, actually. If you do struggle to get notifications here on Facebook, because Facebook is Facebook. And things always change. But on YouTube, if you want to get notified when I go live, you just click the notification bell and you pick, every time I post, and you'll get notification that I'm live. It's actually a really good way to do it, come to think of it. So have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. And I'm going to end on this. This is beautiful. From Cherie. How different do our medicinal supplements look compared to our grandmothers? Their own recipes from the garden mostly. I couldn't agree more. I remember the medicine cabinet, right? I remember the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. There wasn't a lot of medicines in there, to be honest with you. There wasn't a lot of supplement. There was no supplements in there. I'm just going back to when I was a kid in the 70s, right? Open it up. His mum's blue eyeshadow palette was over there. There was like a Nivea cream or something and plasters. There was no supplements or cupboard whatsoever. Yeah, when we were sick, Mum would give us homemade ginger beer. The ginger. Oh, amazing. So have a great day, everyone. I'm off to meeting number 3 for the day. I like spending time with you guys. Wherever you are in the world, just be well, be safe. Keep coming back. Remember, subscribe to Bridget's Healthy Kitchen on Facebook. Make sure you're getting the notifications. Subscribe to YouTube. Make sure you're getting the notifications. So every time I go live and have a bit of a whinge, have a bit of a moan, but then also at the same time give you practical things that you can do today. That's what I want to be. That's how I want to serve you guys. Give you practical things that you can action today rather than, no. We're about taking action, right? That's the next step. Take action. Have a great day, everyone. We will see you all very soon. Well, probably tomorrow. Oh, no, I'll be at the airport. I apologize. There'll be no live tomorrow. I am flying to Brizzy tomorrow morning. Of course, I've got a couple of meetings on the Friday. And then on Saturday, it's brunch with me under the bridge for those wonderful Brisbaneites. And then on Sunday, I'm doing a cooking class with you guys. So come back and see my cooking class. How about that? Sunday, round about lunchtime, I'm going to do a live cooking class from my kitchen. We're going to be making some incredible winter soups. Easy peasy. Close your eyes, takes you 5 minutes, and then you've got the most nutritionally balanced soup that can last you the whole week. In fact, I'm having soup for lunch. I am. I'm going to show you which one too. I've got a photo. It's from BC5. Where is it? It's in one of these. Just give me a second. Is it in this one? No, it's not. Is it in this one? It is. So, middle row on the right. This is my lunch for today. I made it last night after pickleball. Exhausted. So exhausted. It's exhausting. But starving. I made our 100-year chicken noodle soup. Why? It's not 100 years old. It's because it'll help you live to 100, quite frankly. Part of the blue zones, of course. That's my lunch. I can't wait. This nutrient-packed chicken noodle soup that took me, tired me, pickleball me, about 7 minutes to put together. Handed it to the husband, and he just could not believe how balanced the broth was. He was in love. Well, he is in love, isn't he? Yes, he is. So have a great day, everyone. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Just, be well, be safe, and be wonderful too. I can't remember how to end this now. Talking too much. How do I end this? Oh, end stream. That's that big red button there. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.